Well, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Eliza. I'm a disabled person and I make content all about disability awareness, LGBTQ plus positivity and lifestyle things. So come in and welcome. And today we're going to be talking about the fact that a few years ago I didn't need a wheelchair and now I pretty much rely on it, and how I feel about it, my process of understanding that, and where I'm at now. So yeah, let's go. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that actually a while ago I didn't really rely on my wheelchair at all. I didn't have one when I first started this channel, when I first started my Instagram, but I was starting to struggle with my mobility quite a lot. So growing up, I would always get really tired really quickly. I'd always experience pain, and I spent a lot of my weekends and evenings in hospital, whether that be hospital appointments or going into A&E, etc. Because I used to have a lot of issues where I'd get a lot of infections and things like that, so I'd need to be taken to A&E, which is not great. I'm just going to adjust the camera because it's like slightly slanted. So yeah, there we go. So I used to have to go into A&E a lot and spend a lot of time in A&E, and yeah. But I think to most people, most of my friends, they probably didn't really think anything of it. They probably just thought like I was a sickly child or something. But yeah, I remember I used to struggle with sports a lot, with energy as well, to be able to do it. But apart from that, I just thought like, oh, when I get older, I'll be better because my immune system will be stronger, which has definitely not been the case. So as time's gone on, my condition has definitely deteriorated. A few years ago, I was a very keen walker. I used to walk a lot to help with my anxiety. It would help a lot. But again, I would always be like really tired. And when I did go for a long walk, I'd be like exhausted afterwards for like a good few days. Whereas like my friends and family that would come with me, they'd be like completely fine. But I was just like, it's because I'm just a sickly person. It's fine, you know, I'll get better, I'll get stronger, etc. And obviously there is a level of like building up fitness, but for me that wasn't really the case. It's just sort of got worse over time. So when I first started my kind of Instagram, I was going walking and was able to walk. I was kind of walking around and going on walks and things like that, and was enjoying it, but I was really struggling, and I kind of kept it a lot behind the scenes. I was working full time but just wasn't coping at all. It wasn't good for me at all. It just was not at all enjoyable. I was in loads of pain all the time. I used to like go and sit with like hot water bottles strapped to me and stuff. And then I was officially diagnosed, and after that I was kind of able to get a bit more access to help, access to specialists and things like that. And then over time my mobility did begin to decline. Things began to be more painful. I began to get even more tired. I began to dislocate more, and I just was starting to not really go out that much. And obviously we were during the pandemic for a lot of it, so that made sense. However, now things are opening back up again, I realised how much I was struggling, how tired I was getting, how much pain I was getting in, and that I wouldn't be able to do anything at the weekend because I would be working in the week, or if I did go out at the weekend, I'd have to like recover for a long time during the week. And obviously when you need to work and get money, etc., that's not really ideal. So I kind of spoke to my specialists and stuff like that, and I actually went into a physio session, and basically was really exhausted at the time of the physio session. It was a day where I really was not feeling very well, really had just like obviously overworked myself, and my physio just took one look at me and was like, you need to get a wheelchair, because if you use your wheelchair, you know, you can use it to get to somewhere and then you can get out when you get there. You can use it to get to physio and then do physio, etc. Because you're just burning yourself out, and then you're not able to do anything enjoyable because you're spending all your energy like getting there and walking here, and it's too much. And so that was kind of how I started the process into accessing my wheelchair, etc. And I've done a video a little bit about my wheelchair and questions that you guys have asked and things like that. But I guess it's more about the fact that a few years ago I didn't need my wheelchair, and now I do, and how I feel about that, and the fact that anybody can become disabled at any time. And you know, when I was younger, I would never think that I would become a wheelchair user, because I just thought that, you know, that was not something that was going to happen to me. And I just thought, you know, oh, I can walk, it's fine. And now I can obviously still walk short distances, but I can't walk very well, and it's very, very painful, etc., etc. And so I basically started the process of getting my wheelchair, and I actually feel okay about it. I was quite nervous in the beginning about getting my wheelchair, and obviously I then spoke to my specialists, etc., and everybody agreed, my health team agreed that it was definitely the next step to be able to access things, because I wasn't wasn't doing anything. Like, I wasn't taking my dog out. Obviously he was going out on walks, but just not with me, and I wanted to do that, and I wasn't able to like spend my Saturdays in my local park, which is something that I really enjoyed doing. So as soon as my wheelchair arrived, I totally got my freedom back. I was able to access things that I wasn't able to access before. I was able to go to my local park again. I was able to go out on walks. I was able to go to gardens, and it was just amazing. And partly because I have power assistance, which means that I have even more independence. I'm able to get pushed if I'm not feeling very well because the power assistance will do it. And I have like put in a little clip about my wheelchair that's coming up now, where I kind of go through my chair, what it looks like, how it works for me. Hello, this is my wheelchair. Hello. So let's start. Purple casters because they're cute. I've got some hair in there that I need to remove, look. Reminder to clean your caster wheels because they do get really dirty really easily. Gross. Anyway, yeah, so then I've got this footrest, which is like a flat footrest. I have this bag which is connected to the wheelchair. It has like a thing at the back here, so I can basically like unclip it and then pull it out. Hang on. And then it has like this thing here, and that kicks like that, and then you basically just put it back in like so, and then lock it back in place. Brakes out, back in. And then yeah, pillow. This is an active chair, so some chairs have like higher backrests. It depends on the chair. And then I do have handrails, but these handrails actually are removable and they turn in. I do keep them on just because I quite often need quite a bit of extra help getting around and whatnot. But yeah, that's what they look like. And then yeah, what else is there? My favourite thing of all time about this wheelchair, my wheels. So this is the Alba wheels. They are power assisted, so you basically turn them on here. I say as they won't turn on. Hang on, there we go. And then basically they are basically push rim powered, so you use the push rims to be able to push them. They're the Alba E-motions. Which is really, really great. You can then like change the sensitivity as well on here, or you can do it within an app on your phone. They're a little bit dirty at the moment because I've taken them to the park, but you basically like push them, and then obviously you can tell that that's got power behind it, and it will like push out essentially. So yeah, you can have different levels of different powers, but it's all done using the push rims. It's going to turn them off, and then you can also go into cruise control, which is really cool, and it will like drive it for you, which is great for hills or if you're not feeling very well, etc. So yeah, originally I did have it like all purple, so I had purple wheels and purple casters and purple brakes, but I needed the power assistance because it was just too much to not have it. So then I've also got this little purple, this is just so happens to be purple, their logo, but it helps to like bring it all together, I suppose. So yeah, that is my wheelchair. And so for me, getting my chair was actually a really positive thing, and something that, you know, I think people see wheelchairs as automatically negative, or something like a tool that you must use all the time, which it definitely isn't. Like if I'm having a really good day, I might not take my chair somewhere. I mean, obviously it would need to be somewhere that isn't much walking, but let's say if I'm going to the cinema and I'm gonna park in a blue badge spot and then get to my cinema seat and sit there, I might not take my wheelchair to that if I'm feeling well enough to, etc. So I think it's really important to remember and realise that you don't need to use wheelchairs all the time. Wheelchairs are tools to be able to access the world, and that doesn't mean that it needs to be a tool that you use 24/7. Of course, it's good to check with your specialist, your team, etc. before getting one, but for me it was a great decision, and it's meant that I'm able to access the world again. But if my school friends from, I don't know, even at uni, well, at uni I was so unwell, I was like really struggling, but I covered it all up. I didn't tell anyone. I just would like sit in my lectures in real pain and spend like my evenings and days off at the hospital having awful tests done, but I just didn't tell anyone. And I think that just kind of, you hear it all the time on the internet, but it just confirms that like you've no idea what's going on in somebody's life. And so even now I have people messaging me being like, you're faking, look, you were walking all these, you know, years ago, you were able to go out on long walks. And I can do that now. I just do it with my wheelchair because I'm not able to keep up with doing really long walks. It causes widespread pain. It's not good for me. It's not safe for me to do anymore. I've had more issues that have occurred since all those years ago, but I'm able to do it in my own way now, and that's completely okay. And wheelchairs are not automatically negative. You never know what your life's going to be like as you get older. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what you're going to experience. And I would have never expected to be a wheelchair user, but it's given me my freedom back and I'm able to access the world again, and it's been great. You know, it was definitely hard to process, but out of all the things that have happened to me in my condition, this has been one of the easier ones that has happened, to be honest, because I'm able to access things again, compared to a lot of other things that I guess have taken stuff away. This has given me back my freedom. So yeah, that's my little wheelchair update so far, how I'm feeling about it, why I didn't need a wheelchair in the past and I need it now. I thought I'd make this video because I keep on getting questions about it. But yeah, if you do have any questions, do let me know down below, and look after all of you. I do have a couple of updates, I guess. New merch is out. This is one of the tops, and it has been re-released, so I'll leave a link down below. And I do have a Patreon as well. If you do want to check that out, you can look that up down below. Look after all of you, stay safe, wash those hands, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!